Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss a very interesting topic from our beloved Harry Potter's book, that is, the school life represented in the novel, or Harry Potter as a campus novel. Campus novel, as a subgenre of British and American fiction, became quite popular in the 1950s or since the 1950s. The depiction of a special kind of reality as experienced by every middle class school going or college going student. The kind of lifestyle, the kind of friendships made there, the kind of school decorum and discipline sometimes, the spirit to rule breaking, all these things can be found equally in Harry Potter. So, we can say, besides being a fantasy, besides being a wizard's novel, besides being a teenager's text, it is also at the same time excelling in the capacity of being a campus novel. Now, there are certain similarities and dissimilarities between the ordinary schools we see in our world, that is, the world belonging to the Muggles, and the Hogwarts, which is a school for witchcraft, wizardry, and magic. The dissimilarities are very close to observe. Of course, in real life schools, in real life boarding schools, we don't get to see letters or messages being sent through owls, or there is no sorting hat to determine to which school, to which house we are going to pass for the boarding life. And the Great Feast, it is a great event. Ordinary schools can't afford to hold such events. It's almost like a medieval feast, a banquet hall, something like that. Then talking portraits, the peculiar forms of punishment. So these kinds of things we don't expect in real life schools. But we should be more interested in the points of similarities between an ordinary school and Hogwarts. So, the first point of similarity which we may locate is the notion of discipline and decorum. We can see from the novel, just like any other typical schools of the real world, the Hogwarts is also a follower of very strict discipline and decorum. Mr. Filch, the caretaker of Hogwarts, he is not at all liked by any of the students because of his rough and rude manners. Now, remember, we get to see such superintendent characters, hostel manager. So, such kinds of characters are never liked by the boys and girls because they have to follow the very strict rules in order to keep the institution, keep the boarding school, keep the place in perfect decorum and discipline. But it is their duty, and in order to follow that duty, they sometimes get to be ruding, get to rough and somewhat oppressive kind of behavior. They have to do it, but they are not at all liked by people. Now, there is a sort of orientation program that we also experience in our school life or college life. Dumbledore stands up in the orientation ceremony to give his speech about the school rules. He starts with the term notices and says the first year students are strictly banned to go to the Forbidden Forest. Then Quidditch trials will be held in the second week of the term. Anyone interested in playing for their house teams should be contacting Madame Hooch. So all these kinds of things are said to us. All these things are notified to us during the orientation program. So basically a sort of academic calendar for academics and also for co-curricular activities like games and sports, cultural programs. These are provided to us on the very first day of our college life or school life. So this is very similar. Then library and the books that are kept in the library. Like any other ordinary school, the presence of a huge library is to be found in the Hogwarts. The library was pitch black and very airy. The library is very well stocked and there is a separate section called the restricted section. In every college, university, or even at big schools, we get to see the huge library with enough of books, but some books are there, some very rare or valuable books which are not to be lent out, which are to be kept in a restricted section. So, in the library or bookkeeping culture also, Hogwarts is very much like any other real life school. Then come to the holidays. Holidays are an obviously interesting part when the students finally get relaxation from the studies. It is all the same with Hogwarts as well. But while in the typical schools there are many forms of holiday, for example, there are summer holidays, Christmas vacation if we are simply talking of the Western world, and different other holidays for different cultures, of course. But in Hogwarts, there are only two kinds of holidays. One is the Christmas holiday and other is a long gap between the end of an year. So nowadays it is end semester break. The end of the year after the examinations done, and then in between the beginning of a new term. The great thing which is called the festival of the students by some over intellectual people, examination. This is such a thing which cannot be avoided in any kind of school or college, be it magical or real. So likewise, in Hogwarts and in the regular schools, examination is a must. It is inevitable for the evaluation of the student's progress. However, the content here is very much different. There is the practical examination as well as the written one, and the practical examination is not frog cutting, fish dissecting and such kinds of things, or making some chemical elements like all that. It has to be a direct display of how much magical skill you have gained. So that is the practical exam here. But the theory part is no less important. We get to see each and every time Hermione is the all-knowing sort of girl who is very studious, who knows everything that is in the syllabus, and Ron and Harry, they have to take her help in order to complete their term papers, in order to complete their projects. And in our real life also, we get to see such resourceful friends who is very good at studies and who is not only doing his or her own studies but also helping out others. So in this way, the growth of a bond of friendship, both in the academic life or in the non-academic or co-curricular activities, that becomes very important in our school or college life. Then, the issue of medical help. In every big school or college, we get to see some medical unit must be there. When Neville gets hurt during a flying session for a practice Quidditch match, we see Madam Hooch saying, "None of you is to move while I take this boy to the hospital wing. You leave those brooms where they are or will be out of Hogwarts before you can say Quidditch." Just like in any other school, Hogwarts too has every sort of medical treatment for those who gets severely injured or merely fall sick. Even after the last terrible battle with Voldemort, Harry is also hospitalized and his friends are coming to see him. Finally, Dumbledore also comes to see him. That's a good experience at the end. Now, another very important thing, the houses. In Hogwarts, as well as in other schools in our real world, there is a division of houses. It's a very common thing. While in the normal school, the colors of the houses are to be found same, but in some schools, they can be metaphorically or physically named red house, green house, blue house, such and such. Or in general, we also see that houses are sometimes named after great personalities. Here also, the houses are like Gryffindor, after one famous wizard, Godric Gryffindor. Slytherin, after another great wizard, Salazar Slytherin. Hufflepuff, named after Helga Hufflepuff, a famous witch. And Ravenclaw, after Rowena Ravenclaw. So, these are the famous personalities in the wizards' worlds, and the houses are named after them. So, naming houses after the great personalities is to show the students how to excel in life, how to be like them. So, there is a constant tendency of self-improvement. And there is a kind of tough competition between this house and that house. If we get to win in some cultural tournament, in some essay competition, in some art exhibition, or something like the games and sports, we should be very much enjoying the matter. And so it is for the houses in Hogwarts, especially the rivalry between Slytherin and Gryffindor. That is iconic. Like these, there are several more similarities, also some dissimilarities. We have mentioned only the important ones. Now, I would suggest you read the novel line by line. It's very interesting, it's very enjoyable. And you can yourself locate more such similarities and dissimilarities. As we have also said before, there are many things in the magical school of Hogwarts which can never be experienced in our real world, but there are also some things there which we can relate to our real life experience in a magical way. Now, some critics, some scholars have opined that there is a very thin line between the magical and the real world. It is really true, because if we try to escape the magical world and simply take the text as one boy's journey to a school, that boy has been reared as an orphan child, he has no friends, and now he has gone to a school, there he gets friends and he forms associations there. So this is just like any other Bildungsroman in a real life school, in a real life novel, in a realistic novel. So, except the magical world of charms and spells and wizardry and black magic and some miraculous things, the fantastic things that happen in the text, Harry Potter can otherwise be regarded as a very sympathetically and realistically portrayed campus novel, going back to the experience of school life or college life, which every ordinary school or college going boy or girl may experience in her or his life. Thank you.